I was watching Triangle of Sadness, really liking it. Not subtle, as people have said, although as satire it went beyond mere caricature and rather closely resembled a morbid news story in its cause and effect. The filmmaker Ruben Östlund clearly is attempting and is effectively milking humour from the circumstances, although they are horrifying and painfully relevant. Östlund has made rather strong films about the European bourgeois aristocracy, exposing a class of people who are on the surface European and imply or infer a degree of national or continental pride, where their true love and passion is for money, for capital. It isn't that country or culture that they love, it is that the country was able to provide them with the means or location for building an enormous, selfish wealth. The appeal of being wealthy and living a luxurious, extravagant lifestyle is twofold. The pleasurable sensations themselves, but especially feeling as though one is feeling said pleasure via being at the head of some established hierarchy, of feeling fortunate whereas others are suffering. You've all felt a little good when you can hear a roommate leaving in the morning for work while you are sleeping in on your day off. But it is more than that. These people genuinely think of themselves as superior to the people they order around. To them, this is part of the appeal, of the enjoyment. Rather than deny this sense of elitism, they scoff and then justify not feeling guilty for their elitism. They think everyone could get there if they had done what they did, but of course, that would be the last thing that they want to happen. They like their exclusivity, they like being on a cloud above the rest of the population. So I did thoroughly enjoy Triangle of Sadness, a fun script, a series of metaphors which aren't symbolic so much as tangible, newspaper story scenarios which are simulations of living metaphor, rather than contrived theatrical arrogance. However, Triangle of Sadness having won the Palme d'Or, being enjoyed and acclaimed by audiences all across, all across Europe, some around the world. But what nature are these audiences? The European bourgeoisie, the upper middle class, or upper classes of mainly Western Europe, they scoff and snicker, "Oh yes, the nature of this world, oh ho ho, what can you do?" They may not realise that they are a part of the problem. Sometimes I suspect I do not like satire all that much, because satire, or especially the enjoyment of satire, can appear to be the upper class's justification for not being like the rest of them. One wonders if indeed this may be the function of much satire. It is consumed by these classes, of course. If the satire is enjoyed by these classes and nothing changes, was it even good satire? How do Australian newscasters feel when they watch Frontline's Michael Malloy? It's a good thing I'm not like that. Which is to say, exactly how Michael Malloy would react. Maybe that is effective satire in an Australian context. I am even skeptical sometimes whether I can admire Huxley's Brave New World, arguably the greatest novel of the 20th century, in a vacuum. Language, symbols, speculation, polemics, all are of the highest caliber in English language literature, and yet it has now become a canonized text prescribed in schools. And yet the world remains more like Brave New Worlds than ever, and those who have read Brave New World, mostly, presumably, reduced it to a topic of cheap conversation at the I want to impress the other hack socialites gatherings. Oh, if I want to live a rich and wealthy lifestyle, does that mean I can't appreciate art or contemplations on human existence, trying to compose an equilibrium of supply, suffering, and souls? I say, no, you can't. Not really.